All right, all right, all right. We're here one time again. You know this is your friend, Doc Ock at noon and 9. I hope y'all feeling fine. And what I got for you today is another selection, a number of selections from out of the mist. What do we got here for the proverb for today? Proverb for today is an Ashanti proverb. The ruin of a nation begins in the homes of its people. The ruin of a nation begins in the homes of its people. And that's our proverb for today. We're going to also read a selection from the work of Henry Dumas out of his book, Poetry for My People. And the selection that we're reading today is The Zebra Goes Wild Where the Sidewalk Ends. The zebra goes wild where the sidewalk ends. Now, that may sound like somewhat of a strange title, but it happens that it goes right along with my day today, because this morning I woke up, got up kind of early. I had some yard waste I needed to take over to the local depository where we take our yard waste to. And I look outside because I wanted to go out and water my plants and things. I got my container, working on my container garden on my porch, on our deck over here. And what do I see in the yard, sitting down, laying down in an area I just finished clearing real nicely? But a deer. There he was, laying all down. So that reminds me of the zebra going wild where the sidewalk ends, because there definitely was no sidewalk over there. So let's see what we got here. Neon stripes tighten my wall where my crayon landlord hangs from a bent nail. My black father sits crooked in the kitchen, drunk on Jesus' blood turned to cheap wine. In his trimmer, he curses the landlord who grins from inside the rent book. My father's eyes are bowls of cotton. He sits upon the landlord's operating table, the needle of the nation sucking his soul. Chains of light race over my stricken city, glittering, web spun by the white widow spider. I see this wild arena where we are harnessed by alien electric shadows. Even when the sun washes the debris, I will recall my landlord hanging in my room and my father moaning in Jesus' tomb. In America, all zebras are in the zoo. I hear the piston bark and IBM spark. Let us program rabies. The madness is foaming now. No wild zebras from the American plain. The mad dogs are running. The African zebra is gone into the dust. I see the shadow thieves coming and my father on the specimen table. And that was, again, from the work of Henry Dumas, The Zebra Goes Wild Where the Sidewalk Ends. So as you can see, his poetry is just as, what's the word for it? Indefatigable as some of our proverbs are. But it's up to you to interpret what they mean. That's not my job. That's your job. You have a role in this whole piece here. Okay, besides just sharing our live streams with your friends and your family and subscribing on YouTube, you have another role, which is to interpret. So I'll let you be the judge on that particular poem. Meanwhile, we're heading on. Now, keep in mind, Dumas didn't write anything after 1968 because he was shot down by a New York City transit cop. Shot down in the prime of his life. He was only, 34 years old, I believe? Yeah, 34, because he was born in 34. He died at 34 in the New York City subway. So, now this next selection we're reading here coming out of My Life in the Bush of Ghosts, was written 1958. So 10 years before Dumas, this is where we are in the Bush of Ghosts. Today, we enter the town where woman marries woman. When we went around this nameless town, before we went to the village, there I noticed carefully that all the inhabitants are ladies and women. No single man is living there or coming there at all. And to my surprise, all these ladies and women have long brown mustaches that resemble that of he-goats. The mustaches are under their lower jaws, so every woman married a lady because there are no men to marry them. But when I asked the super lady or my wife why all the ladies and women have mustaches in this town like he-goats, she replied, those women with mustaches had been betrayed by their husbands after their marriage. But now, none of them could marry any male again except to marry ladies as husbands. After we took a stroll around the village and saw many terrible and wonderful things for some hours, then we came back home. Having rested and drank some drinks as a refreshment, then we slept till the evening. When I completed the period of 8 months with her, I told her that I want to know her father and mother, who are wizard and witch, and also her grandmother's town, who is the native of the hopeless town. After a few weeks that I had advised her like this, we left home, and there remained only those 2 maids at home. But we traveled for a week before we saw the town of her father at a distance of 5 miles. Then she told me to stop. So both of us stopped near a tree whose leaves were shaking with powerful speed. Then she told me that she wanted to change herself to a goat and said furthermore that if she appeared personally to her father and mother, they would catch her to be killed for their witch and wizard members, because both of them had promised to kill her for them. After a few minutes, she used her supernatural power and changed at once to a goat with a strong rope on its neck. Then she told me to hold the rope and pull her along the way. She was directing me whenever I wanted to miss the way, and I understood all her sayings as she was changed to the goat, but nobody could hear her voice except me. When we reached the town, she directed me to her father's house, in which we met over 3,000 witches and wizards members who were holding an important meeting at that time. Then we stood near them and looked at every one of the members. Of course, we did not enter the house because she only showed them to me. I saw her father and mother sat on the higher chairs in the center of these members, talking to them. To my surprise, I saw many old men and women of my own hometown who were tight friends to my father, and I was greatly surprised to see them in this meeting because I did not know how they managed to be there. But I did not let them see me. After a while, she told me in the same voice to let us go, so we left there for her grandmother's town. Having left that town at a distance of about a mile, then she changed to the lady as before. After that, she started to tell me the story of some of the wizard and witch members, witchcrafts and wizard crafts, that they can travel all around the whole world within a minute. And they have power on everything. And furthermore, all of them have no good thoughts except evil thoughts, both day and night. Even those who are worshiping the heavenly God are also their enemies. But she did not change to any form again until we entered the town of her grandmother. And that, my friends, is enough for today. Tomorrow, we will be entering into the hopeless town to meet Grandma. See what's going on with Grandma in the hopeless town. So as you can see, he's gone on quite a journey. If any of you have ever read the Odyssey, you can realize that this story is just as odd as they be, even as odd as the Odyssey, which, by the way, happened to be about a man by the name of Ulysses, who's also black, and that's a fact. Check out his heritage, because it'll take you all the way forward to Africa. Meanwhile, I'd like everybody out there that's been watching us for today or on some other days, please go ahead and subscribe below on YouTube so that you get notified the next time we come on the air. And also if you're watching us on Facebook, please go ahead and give us a like. It doesn't take that much. One little press, boom, you press a little button there. It says like, you're done. And if you like, go ahead and give us a share. We're finding out now that Facebook has been doing some odd things. Matter of fact, on my in our group, Welcome to the RBG, I noticed today that I cannot share not one thing out of Welcome to the RBG. Now, all my other groups, I've got about 7 or 8 groups. All my other groups, I don't have a problem with that. I can share as much as I want, except out of Welcome to the RBG. Maybe there's something there that you all need to check out. Welcome to the RBG. Check it out. I promise you won't find an RPG in the RBG, but you will find some knowledge that you couldn't get in college. So go ahead and grow your mind, stretch yourself. Don't stress yourself. Be the best you can for yourself. And we'll check you back here again tomorrow. Remember, this is Doc Ock signing out at noon and 9. We'll be right back here again at 9 o'clock for all your chillins, your grandchillins and your great-grandchillins. Make sure to have their parents, whoever they be, if it's you or if it's your children, please make sure to have them tune in, because we're doing it for the young folks, trying to help alleviate a little stress on the parents and the children, and get those children into bed by when? 9 o'clock. Trying to make that the magic hour, the power hour. Get them into bed, listen to the story. In the meanwhile, we'll have something good for them and for you for your head. We'll see you later. Peace out.